This is a bigger room and more people than I've ever been in front of for one of these, so...
Please give a warm welcome to Vivian Nixon Williams. And say hello to Brandon Rogers.
Where am I sitting?
Just pick one. Please give a warm welcome to Bryce Pinkham. Say hello to Erica Lindbeck. And say hello to Morgana Ignis.
I'm on this side this time.
Not least, say hello to Georgie. Oh gosh.
I have a question about actually the first episode, not the pilot, the first episode. I had a little argument with my cousin for a while. The kid who says, and it's your husband's birthday, I think that it's his fault that the entirety of episode 1 started. What do you guys think?
The answer is maybe.
And then I also kind of had a different question. Would you guys rather eat a brick or a matter baby?
For a battery?
A matter baby.
Oh, an matter baby.
No, matter baby.
Oh, matter baby.
Was
Yeah.
it like a baby that matters?
I don't know what that means.
Nothing. What's the matter with you, baby?
Thank you guys so much.
The brick. We need the brick.
My name is Katie. Blitz's dad's name is Cash Buxo, so does that mean at one point Blitz's name was Blitzo Buxo?
I think so.
So, Bucko?
Buxo.
Buxo, Bucko. I'm never getting it. But all those O's are out the door. They're silent.
Coming from your acting work before and going to this medium, can you talk a little bit about how this experience has been for you, going from doing a lot of stage work and a lot of Broadway to this very different sort of thing entirely? Going basically from a very upscale Broadway audience to a room full of wonderful degenerates.
We have degenerates on Broadway too, don't worry. One of my favorite things about working on Broadway is actually after the show at the stage door getting to meet people and talk to people. And I always say, compared to, for example, on TV and film, like we never get to meet any of the audience members. And so my favorite part of the Broadway experience is always meeting people who have just seen the show and getting to hear from them what they liked and what they came back to see again. And so we get little tastes of that. But a fandom like you guys, who you know the show and the characters as well or better than we do. I don't know, I saw some just incredible costumes yesterday. I heard from people who traveled the world to be here, and it's just a testament to this thing that we're all a part of. And unlike on Broadway, the level of commitment and love that you guys have for the show is just incredibly inspiring, and I'm honored to be a part of it. So thanks for having me.
My question is for the voice actors, if you guys have any tips for people that would want to get into voice acting.
My suggestion is if you really want to get into voiceover, to start with a workshop or a class. Hopefully someone from, or some people from the actual business, casting directors, agents that teach these classes. You can find Zoom workshops all over the place now. That would be, in my opinion, the first step.
I would say study acting in any way that you can. I didn't train specifically to do voiceover. I trained to just be an actor, to be human under different circumstances, which all of us can do.
Do your job!
I actually took classes from Richard. Yeah,
That's
and
true.
Richard's actually a very good teacher. You still teach, Richard? You do, right?
I do.
I know you're very busy, but Richard's a great one.
Here's something that I find amazing. In the episodes that you've seen thus far, other than the pilot episode, none of us have ever been in a studio together. This weekend is the first time that Millie and Moxie actually met in person. Also, Stolas, it's the first time I met Stolas in person. Also known as Bryce. And Eric and I have known each other for a while, so we've seen each other a lot. But I think it's amazing. Doesn't it feel like we're all together? The way it's edited and the sound and everything makes it sound like we're all in the same room and playing.
Richard's the vocal director. For people who don't know, Richard is collaborative with a lot of the deliveries we do and a lot of the improv banter. Richard, yeah, and efforts. I learned what efforts are. I didn't know what efforts were. And that's when like when we're fighting. I once did a whole day of that shit. And so I didn't know that like voice acting you come in to just like grunt a bunch sometimes.
What other sounds do you have to make?
Oh my god.
How long did that take you, Blitzy?
In the department of making sounds, you might surpass me. Most ears are under a bleep, so I don't know what's going on. Something jelly sandwiches.
I'll never tell.
My advice would be to remain open to learning wherever you can, from whoever you can, but at the same time being persistent in your own confidence and your own willingness to try something new and different and fail and learn from that failure rather than equate that failure to being the end. It's actually a great sign. Failing is when you learn and when you grow in between that space where you fail and when you do it again, that's where growth happens.
And I was gonna say, to piggyback on that, play, have fun, because when you're on the playground and you fall, you just get back up, right? And that's a part of that feeling forward, falling forward. It's not a failure, it's just another, scratch on the knee and you keep it pushing. Have a good time.
Yeah, and to piggyback on that, oink.
We're done.
Guys, let's keep it professional here.
I know it's been tough. Just keep playing to your strengths.
I love looking out in the audience right now and seeing just how many couples cosplays there are of those two characters together. And I would love just like a dual question for both of you, since I have both of you on the same couch, talking about the beautiful relationship that Millie and Moxie have in this show.
Do you want to start?
No, you start.
No, you start.
No, you start.
I always get this casting for the African American girl, for the black girl, and I quite frankly sound like all the white girls I went to school with. And when I got the text for this show, I was so inspired. I put on high heels. I was pregnant. I put on high heels and a little short dress, and I squeezed my knees together, and I came up with some high giggly voice, and I actually read for Keeney the first time, and I auditioned for Keeney. And I recorded for Keeney, and I ended up getting called, and I booked Millie. They called me the next day, and they were like, we actually want you to play Millie. And it was the most incredible news of my life to get to play opposite Richard Horvitz.
Hell yeah!
It's been really easy to find love with him because I fell in love with him the moment I got to step in that booth and he directed me. And so there was no digging, there was no pulling, it was intrinsic, it was natural, and...
I'm really blushing right now. I too put on high heels. I am very fortunate because Vivian knew that she wanted me in the show from the get-go, and so I felt very fortunate that she let me be so involved with getting to direct, first of all. And when we heard Vivian Nixon come in and do Millie, both Vivian and I went, wow, that's Millie right there. So it wasn't a hard decision whatsoever. And for the development of Moxie, I'm really lucky because if you listen, it just kind of sounds like me. So, and I don't have to do this so much. So, that was nice. And getting to work with everyone is just like such a joy. There was that scene in the Striper episode where we could have gone like the typical way where Millie really was into Striper and Moxie was jealous, but it was never that. You know, Millie's love for Moxie and vice versa is never in question. I said yesterday that one of my favorite moments is that moment where you're stuck in the bear trap.
I'm not strong enough.
Not with your hands, baby. Use what you're good at.
I'm not good with my hands? Oh, right. Yeah. I probably should have used this earlier, huh?
Someone said to me a long time ago that you always wait for the one or like the perfect one, and someone said, it's the person whose crazy matches your crazy. I'm very fortunate to work with Vivian, and look, I'm really shy.
How about that scene between Octavia and Luna? Still brings tears to my eyes. It was so good. So good.
The other day I went hiking and I hiked up to Griffith Observatory where that scene takes place. And I was standing there and part of my dumb brain for a second was like, Erica was here.
The Phantom of Griffith Observatory.
My name is Dylan, Vegas local for 17 years. How did you manage to evade YouTube's like weird policies regarding all the content like swearing, blood, gore, you know, all that stuff? Did you just look like Susan at 20 or something?
I don't know.